Hey guys, Cameron here with Emerson Property Management. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rent portfolio in about 2 years and now manage that portfolio. Today, y'all, I want to talk about vacancy and the age-old question, or if you've been shopping around property management companies, you'll know this. Should your PM company or should you as an owner have to pay management fees during vacancy? Sorry, y'all, my handwriting is not very good. My chicken scratches. But should you be paying management fees during vacancy? It's an age-old question. There are a litany of different options. Today, y'all, I'm going to talk about that and at least shed some light on that. That's something that comes up, or maybe you even forget to ask it. I have seen many times owners come on board. We don't think to mention it because we think everybody knows this. And they come on board and then they're asking this question. Wait, hold on, why am I doing this? So I want to explain that a little bit and cover it today. And then when you're talking to management companies, or if you do, this is something that you should ask or be aware of. Because again, not knowing or maybe paying for something you're not getting or thinking you're not paying for something, maybe you want to pay for it and get that benefit. I'll talk all about that. Before I do, if y'all like this stuff, like, subscribe, share, only if you find it valuable. If you don't, give us some feedback. Love constructive criticism. Always looking for ways to improve. Let's talk about this, y'all. PM fees during vacancy. Should you pay them as an owner? Well, I can tell you now, at the time of this recording in 2025, Emerson charges management fees. The same management fees that you're charged throughout a tenancy are charged during a vacancy. Cameron, what are you doing during a vacancy? That's blasphemy. I would agree. If your property management company is doing nothing during a vacancy, they probably shouldn't be charging you a management fee. So that's a question to ask. By y'all charging your management fees during a vacancy, what am I getting? Well, thank you, prospective Mr. or Mrs. Owner. I am glad you asked. We charge during a vacancy because we are walking your property every 2 weeks. We are going in to make sure there's no squatters, all the doors and windows are locked and secured, that the heat is either set at 60 or 65 degrees, and that's huge in Texas, or the AC is on in the summer. You get blistering hot summers, and we don't want mold to grow. So we want to keep those things on in the summer, the AC units running. So we check that. We go and make sure that the agent that showed your house didn't leave you a present in the commode, didn't take the Browns to the Super Bowl, as they say. We have had that happen more than I care to admit, because we shut the water off during all vacancies. We do not want a burst pipe or a leak to go undetected for weeks and weeks on end. But if it did, we would catch it. We would be there every 2 weeks to make sure. So if you think about that, no matter what your monthly management fee is, let's just say it's $100. That means that every month I'm going to your property for $50. I don't know about y'all, but you could not get me to go to a property, let alone walk through our checklist that we give you, that we make you go through, that we make our vendors walk and check at that property for $50. If you're not familiar with Houston, and this is the first time watching it, kind of, curious about the Houston market, it is spread out. It's almost 100 miles from one side of 99 to the other. So you could not, it would not make sense. You would not make any money at all if you did that. So this is what we do just to try to cover some of our costs of going to the property every 2 weeks to make sure that your property is taken care of. Now, I can already hear you. Cam, there's agents going to be in the property. Why do you need to go? Somebody's going to be walking that. You got pictures done. You've got this and that. Trust me when I say this. Agents are very good at certain things. Negotiating, being able to come up with a colorful description of a house that's a piece of crap. They'll be able to come up with some needs, TLC, and all this and that. Great negotiators typically, but they are not detail-oriented people. And you want them to go around and make sure all the doors and windows are locked at your property. You want to make sure that they walk over to the water shutoff valve and make sure that's off. I can tell you right now, I guarantee you, if you ask your agent what a water shutoff valve is, most of them will have no idea whatsoever. Nothing against agents. It is not their job, not their line of work. I totally understand that. But that's why we take it upon ourselves. It's our responsibility. We have a duty to you as an owner to make sure that property is taken care of. Make sure we mitigate risks. So When you ask, or when somebody asks you, should the PM charge during vacancy, you've got to understand what you get. We had an owner who left. This was one of his biggest complaints. He said that his other management company was doing this stuff for no charge. And I think we can agree, and I don't know, I mean, the maths. There is no way that you can offer the same level of service and not have to charge somewhere else. There's no money for it. We charge, depending upon our package, you're going to be at $100 to a couple $100 a month. There's obviously things that roll into that. But if you think about that, there is absolutely no way on a 30, 45, 60-day vacancy, and those happen from time to time. Unfortunately, this time we're recording, we're at like 22 days on average, which is fantastic. But sometimes those vacancies get extended. There's no way somebody can drive to that property and check the things that we check without charging for it. They'll either make it up on some other fee or their management fee's higher when the tenant gets in there. But there's no way that they can offer the level of service that we do at those same prices. So when you guys are shopping around, make sure you understand that. If you're not familiar with the Houston market, shutting off the water during the winter is imperative. If you don't hire anybody else, hire somebody to go to that property every now and then, especially during a vacancy, and make sure the water is shut off. I mean, there are countless stories of agents doing things at the property that they shouldn't be doing. Like I said, using the bathroom is one, the water is shut off, or turning the water on. Believe it or not, some of the agents actually know where that is. They turn the water on, now they leave it on, could have a burst pipe and $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth of water damage because they left the water on. So think about the risk. Is it really worth that? We have a lease guarantee that we offer, a 30-day lease guarantee. You guys can check that out on our website for all the details there. So we offer that as a guarantee. So it's usually not too long, but I wouldn't want to let water or showing experience with tenants that are so hard to come by nowadays, let that go a month without walking in that property at all. And I would just challenge you to, when you're shopping around, ask that question or find out if they don't do that, what are they doing? Is there nothing? There might be nothing they do during that. Or they might say, well, yeah, we have people in the area. It's like, what am I actually getting specifically for that? Because we put our money where our mouth is. We're walking that property every 2 weeks. Okay, y'all, what are you getting for your PM fees at vacancy? Is that worth it to you? If that does not make sense to you or you don't feel that's worth it, don't come to us. If you don't think it's worth the risk of about $50 every time walking your house every 2 weeks to make sure you're taken care of paying for that, probably need to go elsewhere. But yeah, for me, we designed this process because I've seen too many burst pipes, too many tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage, too many toilets with turds in them for tenants, prospective tenants. So this is why we do this. I hope this was helpful, y'all. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. I appreciate y'all. Tune in next week.